This one hardware feature used to be present on almost every single mobile phone, but now it's virtually missing. And I think that's a good thing. And no, I'm not talking about the headphone jacks missing. To me, that still sucks that modern phones don't have it, mainly because I don't like using this weird ding-dong. But that's mainly my problem because I use a lot of the headphone jack accessories, so yeah, that's a different issue. But I'm talking about this tiny little LED that used to be present on almost every device. In fact, I used to be one of those people who say that this is the best thing the phone can have in terms of a notification system. And I even used to make fun of some phones like the iPhones that never had notification LEDs. The fact that you had to turn on the phone every single time to even check if you have a message was hilarious to me, especially on expensive phones like that. But I have changed my mind about LEDs, and now that I'm using phones that do not have them, like most modern phones do not have notification LEDs anymore, I think that's a good thing. Well, firstly because they are redundant now, they are useless, mainly because of this feature, always on display. It's been here for like 7-8 years already on the Android side, so I've been using it ever since it came out. I think from my Galaxy S5, maybe S7, I don't remember. But I've been using it for a long time. It's way more detailed than a single LED notification changing colors, so why would I need a flashing light? Not to mention that thing gets distracting pretty fast, especially if you're in a dark room. It gets brighter than you expect. And speaking of distractions, that is my second reason. Like when you keep your phone down, which is a rare thing these days, these things are pretty much glued to our hands. Like Elon Musk said, we are already cyborgs. These are part of our daily routines now. But having that LED indicator which you can visually see whenever you look at your phone kind of distracts you into giving you an excuse to pick up your phone. At least that was it in my case. Like every time I see an LED in a certain color, I would pick up the phone and then just waste a bunch of time in there. Whereas this always on display that doesn't always stay on, just comes up when you double tap the screen, that is a more mindful action. Like having to reach your phone and double tap the screen, I think that one extra step reduces you unnecessarily reaching for your phone or getting distracted by your phone. There were other cool things that Samsung especially brought, like the smart alert feature. Your phone basically would vibrate every time you pick it up from the table if there are unread notifications. That has actually helped me out quite a lot. Like if there are some notifications that you haven't seen, meaning that the screen hasn't turned on, then every time you pick it up to put it in your pocket, it would vibrate and tell you to check your screen. And that has been really useful. I think that's way better than a notification LED flashing all the time. So those were my two main reasons. Always on display makes this thing really redundant and kind of old school. And secondly, it distracts you too much. So for the sake of digital minimalism, I'm glad it's gone now. Now some of you might say Apple had it right the first time. No, they didn't. They didn't have always on display until very recently, so shut up. And their notifications in iOS, oh man, don't even get me started on that. So Apple is not a genius. This minimalism thing worked out in their favor in this case. Before the always on display, it was kind of cool for a while, but afterwards, now, yeah, it's useless. What do you think? Do you still have a phone with a notification LED? Have you ever used one? And what about always on display? Do you use that? Let me know how you handle your notifications in the comments.